Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the first and only podcast that exists on the internet. So happy that you found it. Today on the show, I have Jess Macinanti, and it is my sixth take of this intro because I couldn't pronounce her name right because, as you all probably know at this point, I'm completely illiterate. She's a singer. She's a karate master. She's a ball-busting feminist that ain't gonna take no shit from nobody. And guess what, everybody? She's frickin' gay. But enough of me rambling. Without further ado, welcome to the station. Let's have a conversation. Okay. Hello. And welcome to the actual studio. I don't know what. Every single time that I start one of these podcasts, I always start it in, like, not my voice anymore.
Hello.
We're here with Jess. Hi, Jess.
I'm Jess. I'm Pepe. Sorry, hi, I'm Jess.
The entire episode, we're just like,
where is she?
we're like, so what is
How are you doing today?
Oh my god.
I'm doing pretty good today.
Remember when I showed you the Jack Black inward singing?
Yes.
Like,
Spanish class, 2018.
fuck you, always naysaying. God, I love.
Such a dick. Anyways.
Anyway. All right, we're here with Jess. As you can probably tell by just the little banter at the start of this, we're friends.
Yeah. Actually, no, I hate him
Yeah.
so much.
My bad. All right, thanks for listening.
I don't know why I'm here. Anyways, bye.
We'll be back after the break.
I went up your whole long ass driveway because I'm not your friend.
You went up my what?
Long ass driveway.
Oh,
What do you think? I said you perved.
I thought you said you went up my hole, and I was like, what?
Your long ass driveway. I probably said something else, but
I think you said whole long ass driveway, and I just like blocked out long ass driveway.
I probably meant to say like your whole ass driveway and then switch it to long ass driveway.
Okay.
You know, ADHD. Anyways.
Let's get to the questions.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, so you're gay.
Well,
you're bi.
yeah, but yeah. I am a bisexual.
But you like to say, hi, I'm gay.
Yeah, because it gets people's attention because then they don't ask me questions about being bi. Like, what's that? So wait, are you gay? Or are you just pretending to be gay? No, I'm not fucking pretending to be gay. Dude, people ask me that. No joke. People ask me that all the time. They're like, so like, are you doing this for attention? Like, fucking no. You think I want to be excluded from the straight community and the LGBT community because, like, I want attention? No, that's not how it works, okay? It's not a choice, friends. Anyways.
Well, for all the others that are pretending to be gay out there.
Yes, stop pretending. That was a joke.
Like, I want to...
pretending.
I
love you, my friends. I literally hate myself so much. Anyways.
To start off, I want to know your story. So...
Okay.
So when did you know for a fact that, to quote The Office, you are the way that you are?
It has to be like, so in 7th grade I started like questioning, and for a while I identified as this is going to be funny to a lot of people, but panromantic asexual, which is completely wrong. And I was not right.
Okay.
So,
and what does that mean for all the people that don't know? Basically,
at the time, because I think sexuality is fluid and it's ever changing, and that's okay. And so at the time, I felt as if I had no sexual attraction to anyone, but I could be romantically attracted to anyone, which, okay, but I was wrong. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm just pansexual. So that's what I identified as for a long time. And then eventually, I kind of like in, I would say freshman year, I was able to narrow it down and be like, yeah, I think I'm attracted to 2 genders. And it happened to be man and woman. But that's not like bisexuality can be any 2 genders. It doesn't have to be a guy and a girl. It can be literally any of the genders, but just 2, because bi means 2. Anyways, so basically I tried coming out to like my closest friends first, and it was okay for a couple people, but it really started some major drama in other ways, which we don't really have to talk about because it's too specific and too salty. Anyways, But with my family, I think I've always known I was like
different.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
Not just like your typical like teenage girl, which if anybody knows me, they know that I'm not. But
when you finally came to terms with who you were, how did your family react to that news?
So they're really not into the whole like labeling yourself thing.
Okay.
But I have a completely different view on that, and so they don't want me to label myself, which is fine. But I think that if you're comfortable with labeling yourself, that you should. Or if you want to, that you should. But if you're not, then you don't have to. Like, I think that it's okay and it's valid to label yourself, and it's okay and it's valid to not. So
now, with the whole labeling thing, when you were making that like transition to getting comfortable enough to label yourself, what were some of the things that you were mainly battling with during that time?
Definitely doubting myself. Definitely telling myself, you're just doing this for attention. Like, this isn't like, what, you're probably just straight, or you're probably just gay. Or like, hey, your parents are right. Like, stop labeling yourself. It doesn't matter. A lot of those thoughts. So definitely like self-doubt, definitely, other people's thoughts and, words getting in my head and kind of basically turning me against me, you know, like telling me that what I felt was not right, even though it is.
And now, once you finally came to terms with like, this is who I am, I'm going to put a label on this now. Mm-hmm. What was your original like reaction to that?
For a while, I still doubted myself, and really was like, but what, like, so I've come to terms with the fact that I'm more comfortable with the label than without, but what if this isn't my actual label? And I've also come to terms with the fact that labels can change, and you're not stuck in one category forever. I mean, I could one day realize that, hey, I'm not even bi, maybe I'm straight. Which isn't gonna happen because I'm super not straight, but like it's again, sexuality is fluid and it's ever changing, and for some people they know and they're comfortable from the start. For some people they question their whole lives. For some people the labels don't matter. For me it was more of like a journey to finding out who I really am, which sounds deeper than it is. Well, I mean, like, no one ever actually knows who they are. They just know who they want to be, and even that, some people don't know. So I just know that I want to be comfortable enough in myself to be able to give myself a label and be proud of that, which is why I am out to everyone. Like, I don't hide it. I don't introduce myself with it. I'm not like, hi, I'm Jess and I'm bisexual. Like, I don't, because it's not, like, it's like if you were talking to someone and you were like, hi, I'm Jess and I have ADHD. Like, you just don't do that. It's a part of who you are, but it's
like
not,
diabetes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't introduce myself saying, hi, I'm Henry, I'm diabetic.
You do, but only as a joke.
Okay. I do, count. But to like people who already know.
Yeah. But
I'm not just like, hey, new friend.
Yeah, right? No, yeah.
My pancreas failed
exactly.
at a young age.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, it's a part of who I am, and it's a huge part of who I am as a person, but it's not the only thing I am. So it's not how I introduce myself. You know, so it's not like the only important part of my life, but it is a huge part of who I am. So that's pretty much.
I mean, yeah, sexuality is kind of the thing that you grow to discover as you grow and learn about the person. Mm-hmm. So first, you know, it's really important to establish like, oh, they're a kind person. And then keep going. Or in your case, they're a bitch.
No, that's so great. They are breaking the law. Nice. No.
So who's the first one of your friends that you told? That was like, yeah, like, go Jess. You did it.
I'm not going to say her last name just in case she didn't want to, but Mary.
Okay.
She we were best friends in like 7th grade to in 8th grade, and we're still really, really good friends. Like we talk to each other all the time about like deep things, all that stuff. Also stupid things, which shows that we are still good friends. But she was the first person I told.
What was her reaction to that? Like,
she was like, "Good for you," like, and she was like, "You don't have to label yourself, but good for you feeling comfortable enough too." And that's kind of what I based my like thoughts on. I was like, "Yeah, I mean, she's right. Like, I don't need to, but if I'm comfortable with it, then yeah." She was the first person I ever told what I thought I was before, how I was like pan romantic, asexual. She was the first person I told, and she was totally supportive. We're both big feminists. We're both like big, like just human rights, you know, all that fun stuff. And basically, she wasn't the first person I told when I knew I was bi, but it was very close. It was like my neighbor, one of my best friends at the time, and then her. Like, so pretty much like she's been with me through the whole journey.
Now, through that first, like,
you can call it a stage. I don't care. Phase.
I mean, I'm going to call it like an introductory to varying sexuality.
That's a good thing to call it.
When you told Mary about this, was that a really healing moment for you to not only admit it to yourself, but also to have a person there that wasn't like, ew, like, what are you talking about? As the first initial reaction to that news? Honestly,
it kind of was, because like to myself I had always been like, that's so messed up, like that's not even right, because like even though I was a big feminist and I supported everybody in their sexuality, in their romantic orientation, in their gender identification,
it's different when it's you.
Yes, exactly, it's different when it's me. And I was like, why are you like this? Like, why do you need so much attention? Like, why do you need this? Why yada yada yada? Like, I was just so like self-deprecating about it. And she was the first person to ever be like, "Hey, it's okay, and it's valid."
So after all the damage that your brain did, keeping what other people had said in your mind and sort of stepping you down a few pegs, she was the person who provided like the step stool of like, it's okay.
Yes, exactly. You're right. That's a really good metaphor.
Now, you kind of went into this a little bit with stop being fake gay.
Oh my God.
But what is the most annoying and ignorant thing that someone has said to you about bisexuality?
Well, so we could go offensive, or we could
let's go both.
All right. So the most offensive thing
this is your episode. Let's go.
The most offensive thing someone has ever said to me is, "That's not a real thing." Yeah, so Henry just made a face.
That's not even offensive. That's just confusing. That's just like dead wrong.
Yeah, like I looked at them and I was like, "Excuse me?" And they were like, "No, you can't like more than one gender. You have to pick."
Okay,
and I was
that's
like,
offensive.
Yeah, and I was like, I have to pick, and I like got a little heat. This was in like 8th grade, like when I was first starting to be like, yeah, maybe I'm bi.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, I have to pick, and I swear to God, I almost punched this person in the face. I was like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?"
I mean, like to be blatantly unaware that that's a thing.
Like that's like that you have to be willfully ignorant for that.
That's a complete different thing. I'm just like, no, you gotta pick it. You gotta pick one or the other. Come on,
you can't have both. Greedy bitch. People call me greedy too. Greedy, looking for attention, all that shit. I get called on the daily, like on it. Online and stuff, because I'm so like out and proud. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm bi, or like even in my Instagram bio, I have like every month is Pride Month with like the bi like colors, which is pink, purple, blue. Yeah. So it's pretty obvious to anybody who knows what the bi flag is. And so like, but I'll get like comment like replies on something that doesn't even have to do with it, and they're like, "What are you not allowed to say that word."
No, you can say it.
All right, cool. Because they're like, "What are you, a fag? Like, you can't, like, you like more than one gender and you like the same sex. Like, you're going to hell." And I'm like, "See you there, because you're an asshole." Like, that's not. So people say that shit to me all the time. I just usually just delete the comment, because I'm like, I'm not going to stoop to your level in which you think you have to tear my sexuality down, even though I don't know you. so it doesn't affect you. B, it doesn't affect you because fuck you. Like,
because it's your life.
It's my life, man. Like,
I don't.
it's
Here's
my party, and I'll cry if I want to. You know, like.
Here's my biggest thing with the LGBTQ community or anyone living their life. If that makes you happy, and you're not like killing millions of people, like, I want to clarify that.
Yeah.
I don't want people to just be like, well Henry said
well, you know,
it makes
homicide
me happy.
makes me happy. Genocide, you know, that fun stuff.
Just like, I only buried my mom under a shed.
I only committed like patricide. It's fine.
It's
you guys.
fine.
It's
but
fine.
If that makes you happy,
I only killed a couple kids.
dude,
Just a few.
they were orphans. Come on. No one's gonna miss them.
They were dead babies already. I just like threw them at the wall. Sorry.
Where did this conversation
I don't remember
go? This
what
got
we
so
were talking
dark.
about.
But if it makes you happy and you're not killing babies, go for it. Like,
No,
just-
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And don't be the person that's just like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. That's one of the worst ones. Is nothing like too offensive, but that's weird. Why? Like, that makes you think. You're like, why is it weird? Like,
Am I weird?
Am I weird?
What's
and then you
going
go
on?
into spiral, and you're like,
Yeah.
I fucking hate myself. Time to die. Like, that's pretty much where it goes. Sorry, that was
How long does that take to get there?
not long, friend.
Not long?
Not long. For me, because we'll talk about this later, but I have things.
You can say the things,
Okay.
even if we're not on the topic.
I have like depression stuff, so it's really easy for me to spiral, and I have ADHD, so it's fast for me to spiral. And I have anxiety, so I spiral all the time. I'm a spirally person.
Take me down the that like little train ride.
All right.
Like until it becomes a train wreck.
Yeah.
Like,
that was funny.
Sorry,
I just did finger guns. What a bi icon.
funny.
Straight up went. That was funny.
But yeah, take me down that train. Once you finally get the news that's weird now.
Yeah, wow, guess it's weird. Yeah, so basically, first that is, it's weird. And then you're like, well, that makes me weird. And then usually it's very fast to get into the dark place where you're like, well, that means everyone thinks I'm weird. That means nobody likes me. That means I don't have any friends. That means I don't have anyone to talk to about anything bothering me. Well, what's bothering me? Everything's bothering me. My life sucks. I want to die. That's pretty much my general spiral. I mean, it might be slower for some people. You just leaned into the mic and nodded.
I was gonna say something, but then I was like, I thought about it a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just funny to me. Yeah, but that's my general spiral. Like, it goes so fast because I have like ADHD, and so all my thoughts are like at 100,000 million bajillion miles per hour. That's a real number. I just made it up.
I don't think that there is a number bajillion.
I bet there is. Somewhere. If there's an infinity, I feel like somewhere. Sorry, I had to.
To the infinity. So when now this question popped into my mind, and I have it written down, so I'm proud of myself. So when you were younger, how did your parents raise you in terms of like how to view the LGBTQ community?
So we never really talked about. We didn't like not talk about it. It just was like never brought up. It wasn't shamed to talk about. Definitely not shamed. They're very open people. They just, because I mean, they're so open. Like, they don't like labels, and that's really their only issue with it. So like, I brought home my now ex-girlfriend, and they were like, okay. I mean, they thought she was my friend until they saw us holding hands, and then they were like, okay, and that was it. Like, they never like actually said anything or did anything. They try really hard not to make me feel bad about it or make me feel like it's a thing, you know, like it's a big deal. The only issue they have is the fact that I label myself, which doesn't affect them at all, so I kind of just ignore that they have a problem with that at this point. Okay. So I used to like try and convince them. I was like, no, it's okay for me to do that because I'm comfortable with it. But now at this point, like, I'm gonna do it, and you literally cannot physically stop me because it's in my head and in my heart. Like,
you're like your own person at this point.
I'm 16 years old, and that sounds like something out of a Disney movie. Being like, I'm 16, I can do what I want, but I'm 16 and I can do what I want. Like, it's my heart, it's my love, it's my life, it's my brain. Like, I think I'm good. I'm like pretty sure I can call myself bisexual and be proud of that. So
yeah. Now, labels aside, what was the biggest fear about coming out and showing the world like this is Jess now?
Really, I was only afraid of the impact on like not even on my social life, because I don't give a shit. Okay, like anybody at school, you can talk to them and they will have maybe a good thing to say, maybe a bad thing to say, and I don't care because I'm not doing anything in my life to impress anybody else. So my whole thing was that it's going to affect my academic like journey. I was afraid that if I got caught up in drama of it, that my grades would start to fall, and then obviously I went into the spiral, and I was like, well, my grades will fall, and then college, and then I won't, and like I won't get into college, and then I won't have a job or a house, and then I'll die. And that's pretty much, dude, it pretty much always ends up at like something happens and then you die. Like that's like pretty much how every spiral of mine ends. But that's a different topic for a different time. Anyways,
we're gonna come back to that.
Yep, that's
coming
fine.
Back to that.
Yeah, sure.
But that was the biggest fear, the academic.
Pretty much. I mean, for everyone, there's always going to be that slight fear of that social, I don't know, anxiety, I guess, that like it's going to affect your friends and stuff. So obviously I had a little bit of that, but mostly I was just worried about like myself and how it was going to really affect me with my grades and also my mental health. That was another big thing. I think that might have been actually bigger than the academic thing, because like if something happened and like if I was caught up in drama again, like I've been in a lot of drama that I don't want to be in. And so I kind of distanced myself from it at this point. Like people are talking about, oh, did you hear so-and-so is dating so-and-so? I like put my hands up. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not involved. Like, I don't give a shit. Because I'm kind of here to learn and not to deal with you and your bullshit. So bye. And then I walk away. Like, usually that's pretty much how it goes. They're like, oh, so-and-so cheated on so-and-so. I'm like, oh, they're a douchebag. Bye. Like, that's it. So really, I was only afraid of the toll it would take on my mental health and my academic journey. Because those are the two most important things to me, is that I don't want to die all the time. That's an oversimplification. And that I don't flunk out of school, which is also an oversimplification. Just, it's fine. But now, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, now, you said you didn't want to, I'm putting words in your mouth, but corrupt your mental health.
Pretty much.
Now, did not knowing who you were for so long already corrupt it?
Honestly?
Like, contribute to depression and anxiety? And
you would think it would, but I really... Not for me, not personally. For other people it might, because everyone's journey is different. But for me, I really don't think so.
It was just the majority of self-doubt.
Yeah, definitely. It was the self-doubt, because it turned from you're not actually this, you don't actually like girls and guys or whatever, like, to you're like lying to yourself. To you're faking this, you want attention, like all that stuff that people would say to other people that I would get stuck in my head, and then all of a sudden people were saying it to me when I started to get become out and proud, But at this point, I'm like, whatever. Like,
was there no anxiety that contributed to the inevitability of like, this is who I am?
There was,
versus you self-doubting, like, that's not who I am, I'm lying.
There was a lot of anxiety.
Okay.
Because now I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but I'm gonna assume that it comes from my anxiety disorder, because I get anxious about everything. And so the fact that I was able to overcome that was one of the first steps I actually took in improving my mental state and whatnot.
All right. Now, in the whole aspect of improving, so is there, well, actually, this is not in the whole aspect of improving. The second part of this question is aspect of improving. So is there a downfall of coming out and being who you are at all at this stage, now that you're comfortable in your own shoes?
Honestly, the only thing is that, like, the fact that I'm like, I'm so gay. Like that, people literally end up thinking I'm gay. But gay usually is used as an umbrella term. So bi people, pan people, ace people, like anybody can say, hey, they're gay, unless you're straight. You can't say that.
Well, I think that it's also used as an umbrella term because everyone kind of gets what that is.
Exactly.
If you say like,
hey, I'm panromantic, like demisexual, no one's gonna know what that. I know. No one's gonna know what that means unless you go over the whole spiel and you explain it to them, and then they give you the look, and you're like, why does it have to be so complicated? I'm like, I don't fucking know, because life's weird. Okay, leave me alone. That's pretty much it. Like, but
it takes a special kind of person to almost drop their phone with a pop socket on them.
But like, and it's not even closed. It was open. Like, it has a turtle on it. Sorry, I got distracted.
But what advice would you give to people who are
in the closet?
Just not only in the closet, but also facing similar challenges like mental health wise and self-doubt of who they are and everything.
Take it one step at a time. Don't just jump in and try and tell everyone all at the same time. Like maybe tell your best friend, or if you can and you're not in danger or anything negative, tell your siblings. I would wait to tell your parents because for some reasons, sorry, I'm slow. For some reason, your siblings are usually more receptive to that stuff. And since your parents are going to be like so much older than you, they're usually going to take a little longer. Which is understandable. And I don't think you should get mad at them for like not understanding at first. The only time you should ever be worried is if you are A, in danger, or B, like just not accepted. Like that, though, like in anything along those lines, that is just unacceptable and that is inappropriate and just not good parenting. Like it's just, I'm sorry, like, but I'm gonna say it. It's just not. You gotta accept your kid for who they are, I think, and unless it's a murderer, then you don't. Then you have to send it away. But
yes, our little Billy's Godzilla.
We just love him.
We just love him. But do you count yourself lucky in the sense that like you got a relatively supportive household?
I do. I mean, I might I'll rant to like say my closest friends. And I'm like, my mom does not get me because of how she was raised and her generation, whatever the reason is. But she usually doesn't. Like, she doesn't quite understand that I'm comfortable with the label that I have. And I'm comfortable with the fact that I labeled myself.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that anyone can really understand unless they are
exactly, 100%, which is why I try really hard not to get mad at her. I mean, sometimes it really hurts when she's like, because every now and then she'll let something slip and she'll be like, no, you're not that. But I try really hard not to blame her for that because, like, you know, it's whatever.
It's just a generational disconnect.
Yeah, I think so. And like, I have family members who are gay, but they're adults, and so they believe them. A lot of my family is like, no, you're too young to decide that, which is another thing that I'm finding inappropriate. Like, you cannot tell me that I'm too young to decide that. It's
also, this is the phase of your life where you're supposed to be kind of experimenting with who you are.
Exactly. Like, if we're gonna be allowed to vote soon, but we can't love who we want to love, then there's an issue here. Like, then you're putting priorities into a different places. Like, fix this. But and I mean, like, so yeah, just advice is take it one step at a time. And I do, count myself lucky to have a decently supportive family rather than someone who like disowns me for even thinking it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not religious, so that might be a part of that. Is like, I'm like, God's not real, but also, you know, they could be.
Like how you just raised the roof and started to talk. You're like, but okay. You're like patting God on the back. You're like, it's fine. It's fine.
Just, you know,
people still believe. I might not be one of them, but people still believe.
Sorry, my uncle.
But
yeah, man. I mean, you do you is pretty much my whole sentiment for that. Is, you know what? I'm not religious, so my parents don't have that excuse. They can't be like, no, it's a sin, because we're all sinners. We don't believe in God. That's like number one sin, other than don't murder someone. I think. I have no I have no idea. Ignore everything I say about religion. I don't know anything. I went to church once and I was forced to. Actually, no. I went to church one time when I was like 4 because I was being babysat by church people. Went to church one time with my friend and it was terrifying. It was like a cult. So now we literally call it cult every time we talk about it. And then another time because I had flute lessons in a church, and that was literally it. So I know nothing about religion. Anyways, that's off topic again.
Do you feel like, I mean, it's not really off topic because I want to go, this is the last question, then we'll take a little break.
Okay.
Do you think that the people that use religion as a reason to hate the LGBTQ community are a little bit lighter on bisexuality because you are also liking a different gender?
No.
By
100% no. They don't, I mean, this, so, all right. Everything I'm about to say about like Catholics or Christians or anyone who is religious is only about the people who are against the LGBT, because there are a gazillion people who are in support of it and who are also Christian or Catholic or whatever. And there are also so many people in the community, in the LGBT community, who are religious. And so it really doesn't have anything to do with the religion. It's more the person who just happens to use their religion as an excuse.
Yeah.
So.
And let me just say, the question that I asked before, sorry if that's offensive in any way. I'm doing this podcast to learn shit. So, like, yeah. I may ask really offensive questions sometimes.
It's fine.
I don't
I'm
mean
sure
to.
It's just don't get butthurt. Don't be a girl. I'm allowed to say that because I'm a girl and a feminist. Be a girl, but don't be a pussy. Anyways, I hope I'm allowed to say that. That's just like that's my motto. Like, if I was allowed to, I'd put that as my Instagram bio. Like, just don't be a pussy. But I can't because, college. They look at that and they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Anyways, I don't even remember the question. Yes, I do. So they are 100% not any more lenient, I'd say, on bi people, because either way, I mean, we're attracted to the same sex, and it doesn't matter if you're also attracted to the opposite sex because you're still a fucking sinner. And sorry, that made me laugh because sorry. Anyways, but like they just kind of if I don't know, I can't really explain it as someone who isn't religious and also someone who doesn't really get religion very I would need to talk to someone who is religious to be able to understand why some people might use that, because I really don't understand it. It's one of the things that I'm actually really interested in. Like, I'm interested in learning about religion and why people use it as an excuse to do things that normally they wouldn't do.
Well, we'll have to have a person on the podcast then. Mm-hmm. I'll have to get somebody to do that.
I know. Lots of people.
So we'll discuss this while we take a little break. So stick around. Give us a moment, and we'll be right back. Ugh. Oh my god. Guys, I have the biggest problem in the world. The station is my new favorite podcast, but I never know when it's uploading and when I can get my amazing podcast dosage. Well, I'm here to tell you. Every single Monday at 8 a.m., check the Semicolon Studios YouTube channel, and guess what? You will have an hour-long episode that you can just sit down and watch. You need a study break. You just need to escape the world. You need a stress relief, little me talking into your ear about stuff that you care about. Well, guess what? Mondays at 8 a.m., check the Semicolon Studios YouTube channel. That is Mondays at 8 a.m., and you're going to get all your station needs. Now, without further ado, back to the action.
Except for Wonder
Hey guys, hi, we're back.
Hi, I wasn't just talking about Marvel or DC or Wonder Woman. It's fine.
Just directly interrupted. Do you not like Wonder Woman?
I love Wonder Woman.
Okay.
She is
good.
That's my favorite DC movie.
Okay, good.
Because it's the only good one they've come out with since like The Dark Knight.
Oh, the fan's still on.
And we can don't worry about that.
And there we go.
Okay,
it's
so
off.
now you
We're
can
good.
hear us.
Now you can hear.
Anyways,
we'll go back from the break.
Wonder Woman is amazing as a character in a movie. Anyways, we should probably talk about the actual podcast now. Please don't. really rather not deal with that.
For the love of God, please.
Please.
Please don't.
Please don't.
So.
Have you heard that Ariana Grande thinks that God is a woman? I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Please get out of my studio immediately.
I like the song. It's actually like not a bad song.
No,
I don't
it's a
like
good song.
pop music, but she has a killer voice. Anyways, back to the topic.
Anyways, so we have a new topic.
Yes.
Similar
to Nick. By Henry. He got up and left. He's walking out. He just fell down the stairs. He's dead. Yeah.
Okay, similarly to me, I don't know why, ever since I got braces,
I forgot you had braces.
things have been hard to say.
Yeah.
I had braces. I don't have braces anymore. I'm not.
What did I say?
No, that's what you said.
Oh,
I just
okay.
wanted to clarify.
Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I knew that.
So similarly to me, you suffer from depression.
Yeah.
How do you view depression? So because some people describe it as a weighted blanket or a cinder block attached to your foot while you're drenched in sadness.
Yes.
How do you view it as a thing?
So if I got a burp.
Okay.
But I don't want to do it in the mic.
Filling in the silence while she deals with their gassiness. Okay.
All right. So, depression. It is really hard, and the way I view it is just. Yeah, I liked the way, like, I don't know. It's really hard to describe because it's different for everybody. But I try really hard not to say that I'm using air quotes, suffer from depression, and more that I live with depression. Because suffering, I mean, like you are. Like when you have depression, when you have any mental illness, you are suffering a lot. But saying that you're living with it rather than you're suffering, it's just one small step to overcoming it. Or even, like, not even overcoming it, just getting ahead of it, being able to...
viewing it in a more positive way.
Yeah. Being able to, like, tell yourself, hey, it's okay. You have this, and it's okay. So I try really hard not to say that I suffer from it. That's a trick my therapist actually taught me. But other than that, I mean, it basically feels like, you know how if you're, like when you're in a nightmare and you're trying to run away from something, and the faster you run, the slower you go.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like you're moving in slow motion, even though in your head
like
you're running as fast.
The hallway gets longer,
exactly.
And like it just doesn't work.
The further down the hallway you go, the longer it gets. Like the closer to the light you get, the further away it goes. Like that kind of thing. Like you're trying your hardest, but it just gets harder and harder and harder until you stop trying and you just give in. And that happens all the time. It's called a depressive episode. That's when you stop trying and you're like, no, okay, whatever, I guess it controls me. And then you have to take a step back and you have to say, hey, I can't stop trying. And so then you do, and then it gets easier. But it's a dangerous cycle. So you go and you try and try and try and try, and you're doing great and you're doing great, and then all of a sudden it hits you like a plane and it landing
out of the
on
sky,
on you and killing you, but not killing you. You're still alive. You just wish you were dead because you were also just recently hit by a train and a bus and beat the shit out of. And also you were in a motorcycle accident. And then lightning struck you.
Yeah.
And a tree fell on you. And
it also because the lightning struck you, and then the tree,
on the tree, and then it fell on you. Yes. Yeah. And then your dog ran away, but then it came back and
then the neighbor shot it in the face with a shotgun
because it thought it was a wolf. So that's what it feels like. But you have to keep trying because through all of that, you can see, you can feel this light, this hope. And once you feel that, you can pull yourself out and then you're okay. But then it's the cycle.
You know, I don't have this written here, but I just
It's fine.
thought about it because
Just it's fine.
yeah,
Go
no, I'm
ahead.
thinking about it. Do you think that people with depression, as a result, have a better appreciation for what it means to be happy?
Yes, because the second I feel happiness, I cling on to it and I don't let it go until it goes.
It's also like a relief. Like, I'm happy today. Like, that's
Yeah, like,
awesome.
Like finally, like this is what it's been leading up to, and it's, you know, it doesn't happen often for me. I don't know. Like some people, like depression is weird, and it's not. He's doing something stupid right now.
I'm not meaning to.
Yes, you are.
My face was really hot, and this is really cold, so I was just resting on the stand.
Yeah. So like depression isn't, you know, like black and white, like looking out the window when it's raining and crying. It's you're smiling and laughing with your friends and you're having fun, but then at 2 a.m. you're awake and staring at the wall. It's you're listening to music and you're having fun, and you're having a good time, and then 5 minutes later you're looking at your feet and you're like, wow, I don't like that. I don't like my life. Like that's it's a slippery slope, and it's really hard to describe as an actual thing. So.
Well, yeah, because there's no like reason why people feel depressed. It's just like, I'm depressed today.
I mean, there's always
And also, don't fucking like ever. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little rant. Hold on.
I love this.
Hold on. Here's the fucking deal.
Go. Yes.
I suffer from depression. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yes.
I'm saying the problem so many times at this rant.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna keep going.
Do
you know
it.
what? It's my fucking show.
Fucking do it.
Here's the deal. Stop saying, like, try to relate to it, just being like, yeah, I've been sad before.
You little shit.
You.
Fuck you.
That's
Go
not,
get hit by a bus. Tell me how you
not
feel.
what it was. That's not what it is. I want you to lose your dog for a period of time, and as soon as they walk back, I'm going to give them chocolates. I'm going to give them flowers.
butter.
I'm going to put it up on, like, a little pedestal, and then I'm going to shoot it 75 times with an AK-47.
Yes.
And just be like, are you sad? Are you sad now that you just watched your dog die? Are you sad?
Yeah, this isn't even remotely how I feel. You still don't get it. Like,
Yeah, like it's just
still
not,
don't get it, you asshole.
It's just not
okay?
like can I just inject your brain with my brain for like 2 seconds?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
And
You're
see
gonna
what
wanna
happens.
Die. You're gonna want to die. That's literally the whole thing.
There's literally like if I had to put my brain into a category or into words, it would just be a constant monotone like just screaming.
Yep.
When
with
one of those episodes come.
Every now and then.
Yeah. Like, kind of like a quieted down.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, everything might be okay. No, it's not. See, like this, no, but this is it. This is what depression is, because we're laughing and we're having fun and we're making fun of ourselves. And then I'm going to go home today and be like, wow, I want to die. Like that's...
Yeah, just like, wow, we talked about that and now we're alone.
It's true,
so
and
like,
now we're alone. So like the is coming back rather than the...
Yeah, it's a sense of like, and then that's also like a spiraling thing of just like, it's just like, oh, now I'm alone thinking about this.
Now
oh my
I'm
God,
alone.
I'm alone.
Exactly.
I'm going to die alone.
Dude, that's what happened last night when I was talking to my friend. I was like, do you know how painfully single and alone I am? Like, and then we just started talking about rant, and then, you know, everything. And then the other things happened that we're not going to talk about on the show.
There's just like, I don't know, there's just such a
stigma.
Such a stigma and such a disconnect between like, I'm a person that feels sad and I'm a person that lives with depression.
Good use. I don't know if you could hear my snap, but I did finger guns again.
Let's just do that. Just do.
Good job. You're doing
the next
great,
question. You're doing great,
You're
sweetie.
doing great, sweetie.
Like
I'm
the
clapping
jazz
for you.
mom in the back.
Yeah, like at a poem reading, like slam poetry. You're like, that was beautiful.
So what are some so I know that I've had troubles pinpointing like coping strategies. So what are some coping strategies that help?
Well, so
other than Sebastian Stan.
Thank you for mentioning him. I just smiled really big, and now I don't think I'm gonna stop for a little while. But like, I'm still smiling. I gotta stop. Okay. So, you like, I'm flustered now. I can't do it now. He's my favorite. Okay, all right, no, I got it. I can do it.
Do you want us to take another little break?
No, I can do it. Everything is fine. That was just okay. I think so. For me personally, my depression doesn't really hit me like fast. It's more of like a slow overtake. That's not a word. It's not a word.
This
overtake.
Overtake? I think so.
I hope it's a word because I'm gonna say it anyway.
I understand what you mean.
It's like
so
a
I think it's a
slow
word.
like takeover. It's like molasses is just drowning me.
I think it's overtake.
I think
I
it's
think that makes
overtaking,
sense.
but like I used it wrong.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
You know
like,
what
it's
I mean.
okay.
You all know what I mean.
Like
all right, shut up.
like it's fine. It's okay.
It's fine.
You're still killing it. It's okay.
I know.
It's all right.
I know I am. This is also what it's like. You're like, I'm beautiful and I'm amazing, and then you get home and you're like, I suck and I hate myself. Like that's what it is. Anyways, for me, again, it's like a slow like overtake, and I have to say it now.
You have the perfect opportunity to say overtaking, and you're just like I had a slow overtake.
I have to say it. I can't. It's like a slow overtake of depression, and it's like it doesn't all of a sudden. Sorry, I have a bug bite. It's really bothering me. But it's very slow, and it's not like, oh hey, all of a sudden, dude, I am so allergic to like bug. Like I'm allergic to the histamine response. So
bug bites.
Yeah. So like this whole thing.
We're getting really off topic.
It's
Hold on.
bug
Go
bite.
back. Go
right.
back.
Oh wait, shoot. I also have ADHD. If you can't tell, or did I say that before? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
4 times.
I tend to do that. I'm like, just so you know, I have ADHD and can't stay on one topic for a long time. Anyways, depression.
I was literally about to say. Anyways, back to depression.
Anyways, let's see. My coping mechanism. So yes, okay. So I had a point. So since it's very slow and it's not really like it's not like a panic attack. And if anyone like lives with panic attacks, sorry, just like
so if anyone loves a panic,
if anyone lives with a panic disorder or anything like that, then sorry, I'm not laughing at panic disorders. I have one.
You can laugh at it.
Oh, I do. I have one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is a weird topic for me to like talk about, and so I'm just trying to like get my bearings and whatever.
Yeah, get your bearings.
Yeah, that stuff. Right. So, it's slow. So, like me, apparently. So, it usually you can't tell it's gonna come until it's already here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What did I do?
That's what she said. Anyways.
Michael Scott, get out of here.
I'm sorry. I had to. So like it's you can't tell. And so when you're in it, I think you really need to disconnect from like social media. Cuz that just makes it worse, cuz then you're like, haha, there's a horse in the hospital. Watch John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous.
I've seen it.
Yeah, okay. So you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so I know what you're talking
perfect. Everyone watched John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous. Anyways, there's a horse in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's terrible, and everything is terrible, and that's pretty much like where it starts. And you like look on social media, and you're like, wow, the horse is in the hospital, and the hippopotamus is threatening us. So you have to watch John Mulaney. I'm so like, stop referencing things. But like you can't.
I'm just gonna briefly explain.
Do it.
John Mulaney has a bit where he describes President Trump as a horse in the hospital, kind of something that is out of place and causing a ruckus.
But hasn't yet like destroyed everything. It's just like doesn't know, like nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, nobody really knows what's going on. And then he describes Kim Jong-un as the hippopotamus 5,000 miles away. That's like terrorizing the horse.
I will stomp you with my hooves. Okay, don't you even think about coming to my hospital.
On Netflix, John Mulaney has a comedy special
Street
called
Smarts.
Kid Gorgeous. It's great.
So funny. He's my favorite. This is again off topic.
Go and check it out. I'm trying to let me just say this, just because we're on politics.
Do it.
Throughout this podcast, I will remain completely neutral.
I probably won't.
All my guests, they have free range. So
nice. I'm gonna keep calling it the horse in the hospital because I really don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
Even I'm like a really offensive person. Like I don't like. Sorry, you're a special snowflake, but I'm not gonna fucking cater to your every whim because I'm gonna say what I want to say, and you can go suck a dick, and I don't care. So I'm gonna call him a horse in a hospital just because politics is the one area that I'm not gonna touch. I'm just gonna be like, all right, man, whatever. You're gonna open the door for the horse. You're gonna open the door for the horse.
There's an entire episode coming of this podcast about Trump and about politics. So for all the viewers, stay tuned to that. But yeah, back to spiraling and depression.
Spiraling. Was it a wolf or like a coyote? Because I am here for it. Sorry, you can cut that out. That was terrible.
What?
I straight up heard like a coyote just now.
That's a chicken.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
That's a.
That's not what I was talking about.
Okay, back to the.
Spiraling.
To the topic.
I'm spiraling out of spiraling. What is happening? Yeah, so just stay out of social media because you'll end up talking about the horse in the hospital. I don't know. I like read a book. Listen to some music. It literally, the music doesn't matter. As long as it's not like sad music. It was a chicken. Just listen to some, like, it doesn't have to be upbeat, annoying music, but it can, like, listen to some rock music. Get into it. Like, jam out. Go listen to some Rush or, like, some AC/DC or, like, Pink Floyd, Genesis. Go listen to...
Ooh, The Blinding of the Light.
Yes.
Just listen to that album.
Just listen to that
That's
album.
a great
okay,
album.
on repeat. It's hard to listen to on repeat, but just...
Now...
Like, just relax yourself and, like, try and, like, chill yourself out of it. That's a bad way of describing it, but it is what it is.
Now you're in therapy, correct?
Yes.
So what has that been helpful to you?
Oh my god, yes. It I mean,
explain, elaborate. Yeah.
If you ask anybody who knew me before and knows me now, like, it's a complete change. Like, I'm more confident. I am healthier physically and mentally. Like, I'm not. I'm sorry, this is going to be like a trigger warning, but I am not, I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to actually die. I say it all the time. And, like, honestly, there's going to be some points where I actually do. I actually hate my life and I actually don't want to be alive, but they have shortened and they're less in numbers now. That wasn't grammatically correct. I don't care.
They're less prevalent than they were before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's just a huge accomplishment, I think, for me to even be here, like, talking about this. Just because of the way that I was before. Like, I was so uncomfortable with just even myself. I was like, I can't believe I can't believe I suffer from this. And now I'm like, yeah, I do live with it, and it's hard, and it's hard, and like, I have a stutter a little bit because of, like, the anxiety. In my head, I doubt what I'm gonna say, and so I end up saying or I like repeat the first, like, letter, syllable, or even, like, the first two words of a sentence. I'll repeat, and it's just like it's like a tick almost, but it's a stutter because like, when I talk about it, it becomes more pronounced. A lot of people don't even notice it until I talk about it, which is good. But
yeah, when you just said that and then you went on to talk, it started to become aware, but I hadn't noticed it at all.
No, yeah, and I mean, a lot of people do, because like, it's just a human thing to kind of, like, take a second and be like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to say. But for people with anxiety, it's more I can't think of the word, in your face, because it's more in their face. Like if I'm, so say I suffer from anxiety, I live with anxiety, so I'm still working on it. Say I live with anxiety, which I do, it's going to be more pronounced to me than it's going to be to you, because I'm thinking about it and I'm staying on it. It's the same way with depression. Like you're thinking about everything you're doing and you're doing it wrong and you're staying on it. So it's kind of like that. And I 100% forgot what we were talking about. Like 100% cannot remember.
Just, well, you answered the past question.
Oh, nice.
But have you ever been to a therapist?
Oh, that's what it was.
In the process of coping with depression, and then you went to the therapist, but the therapist in that moment and in your sessions did not help you at all.
Yes, I had a therapist, and I'm going to name her Julia because that's not her actual name. So Julia wouldn't focus on my anxiety or my depression or anything. She only focused on what she would call focus issues. So she wouldn't even diagnose ADHD. She would just be like, all right, so today we're going to work on your focus issues. And I was like, Julia, I want to die. She was like, no, it's okay. We're going to focus on your focus issues. Because that's all we had called her for. But then I began to develop the symptoms, depression and anxiety. And so we stopped going to see Julia. And now we go and see my current therapist, which I'm not going to make up a name for because I love her.
Who is she?
Megan Burnt. She's wonderful. I don't mind saying her name out loud. She's so great.
Awesome.
She's at Sunrise. No, she's not. She's at her private practice. I think it might still be called Sunrise Therapy. It's so great. She's wonderful. If you're suffering or anything like that, I really suggest to go talk to her.
And now, with the other therapist, Julia, did not finding the answers that you needed in her make you lose hope that there even was a coping method to what you were dealing with?
Yes, because I just thought that this was how it had to be. Like I was like, oh well,
you thought, like this was life now.
Exactly. I was like, well, I guess it's my life. Like I got to go see Julia, and she's gonna help me with this one thing, and I have to work through the rest on my own. And that's what I thought.
That's horrible.
I was younger though. I was like 11 or 12.
So unknowingly ignorant of the topic.
Exactly. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we stopped seeing Julia, and like my focus issues were worse, but then so was everything else. And so we went to go see Megan, and now like I'm 100%. I mean, I really, if you take a look at my brain from now and then, it's not a huge improvement, really. But for me, it is a huge leap forward. I mean, it's insane that like I could even talk about this right now without breaking down.
You feel more balanced as a human being.
Yeah, and the medication might help. So I'm very open with the fact that I take medication. I take antidepressant, anti-anxiety, which is the same pill. I take an ADHD pill and a vitamin D pill and an iron supplement. The other two aren't for like mental. They help, but it's
but they're not prescribed like for that reason.
No, they're not prescribed for mental stuff. They're just like I have that deficiency, which isn't important. But.
And now, do you find that medication helps alleviate the symptoms of anxiety and depression?
Yes, because it doesn't actually cure me. There's no cure. It's not that kind of illness. It's something you really have to work towards, and I don't think anyone is ever going to be able to 100% get over it.
No, I mean, you could. Here's the thing about being depressed, and I'm gonna take the mic for just 1 second.
Do it. I like listening.
You can have the best day of your life. You can go out. You can get ice cream in the morning. You can get ice cream when you come back home at night, and then the entire day in the middle, you're with people that you love. You're with people that love you. You're having a great day the entire time, doing what you like, doing what you want. Like what you say goes. It can be your birthday or like an anniversary with a spouse or a partner or anything. Depression doesn't care about that.
Yes.
And every single time that you come home from that, there's still a possibility that your night could be hell.
Yeah, yeah.
And basically, I started to a little bit about me. I'm gonna have a solo episode of the podcast where I just go on like rants about myself, but a little bit about me. I kind of started to develop depression.
What? So.
I think it's recording over the last.
Excuse me, I will actually fight. Because I totally forgot every one of my answers, and I'm not going to be able to say anything remotely accurate or close to what I said.
All right, hold on. I'm going to check technical stuff. Give us 1 second.
Oh, hey.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
Oh, hey. Hello.
We're good. We're fine. So just a little bit about me. I started to develop depression around the time that I got diabetes, because it was around the time where I was like, oh, my life is actually like a thing that I have and I have to protect it, which kind of sucks. So technically in my life, I have the two, and I'm sure that you do too. I have two things that don't follow an agenda: diabetes and depression. Usually they kind of correlate, because if I'm high all day, it really affects my mental state. Or if I'm high for like 3 days in a row, and while I'm high for those 3 days in a row, I'm like crazy, insane, like whoa, buddy, yeah,
life is
because
great.
I actually seem high when I'm high.
No, it's so funny. He's like, I'm so high right now, and I'm like, oh, you asshole. You asshole, and your pancreatic disease. That was the biggest laugh I've ever heard you do in my entire life, you actor bitch. Sorry, I'm not nice. But it was like, Okay, anyways. See, we're on a serious topic, Jess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go. But yeah, anyways, the diabetes and depression doesn't really help my depression.
Yeah, definitely not.
In a way.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, because you got the whole anxiety plus the depression and everything, and
oh yeah, fun time.
And yeah, so are the coping strategies that you use for depression different from the coping strategies that you use for anxiety?
Yes. So
what
for
are they?
Anxiety,
how do they differ?
So anxiety is usually quick. It's all of a sudden you're panicking.
It's like a panic attack and then you're done.
Kinda. So it's more of like, it's all right. Oh, I'm a little overwhelmed. Bang, panic attack, and you don't know what to do, and it lasts for a while, and then you're just kind of shaky after it, and then you're like, okay, all right, I'm all right. So with a panic attack, it is very it hits you fast, like that dude dancing with the friggin' car.
Yeah.
Like it just all of a sudden you're like, oh no, bang! Like you get very minimal warning before, and so. In a panic attack, I always, you need to, if you can, drink a huge ass glass of water, because you need to calm your body before you can calm your mind. That was way deeper than I meant it to be.
Yeah, but it's true. But it's true. Like water. Talk to any health guru ever.
They're like, drink a lot of water. Yeah. Okay.
Every single problem can pretty much be solved by like drinking a lot of water.
Yeah. Is your pee orange? Drink some fucking water. You're dehydrated. Are you panicking? Drink water, because then you can't hyperventilate or you'll drown.
Are you trying to get more muscle on your body? Drink a lot of water. Are you trying to get acne off of you?
Drink a lot of water. Like, literally everything.
Everything can be solved by drinking a lot of water.
Just drink some fucking water. I don't even, I shouldn't even be talking. I'm the most dehydrated person ever.
Do you want to go and get a glass of water? And we can just pause after this break?
Yeah.
During this break? Okay.
Yeah. Why did we just... Okay. I'm sorry. Drink a lot of water. It's important to stay hydrated. Sorry.
So...
Anyways, drink water, breathe.
Just for all the people that are... I almost said suffering again. Living...
No, it's fine.
With these disorders. I know, but I want to try to...
No, I know. It just takes a while. I mean, I'm still working on it.
For all the people that are out there living with this, I kind of want to leave them with a good thing. So can you still lead a normal everyday routine with all of this stuff, or does your mental state impede on your life to the point where it distracts you? And if so, how do you get through that distraction?
That's a really good question. So it's a really good question. It really depends on like what kind of lifestyle you lead and like what you gotta do. Because like if you're going to work and you gotta like say we're using social anxiety, because so I have generalized anxiety disorder, which means basically everything gives me anxiety, and there's no specific one thing that gives me more than the other. It's just like everything. So say someone has like has wicked bad social anxiety, and phone calls are their worst nightmare. Phone calls are fucking terrible, by the way. Anyways, so a phone call is your worst goddamn nightmare. But like and it just really kind of developed. Like you haven't been like, it hasn't been awful for a while, but you know, it's been pretty bad. And now, but your job requires you to make a phone call. Like you got to get through it or you're fucking fired. That's what it is. Like it's something you have to deal with. So you end up dealing with it and it ends up impacting your mental health more than your like everyday life. So the more you do something, the more you're like, okay, well, this isn't bad, but also I still hate it and I can't get over this. And every time I pick up my phone, I shake. Like if I'm ordering a pizza, my brother loves doing it. So I'm like, Joe, you want to order a pizza? Like Joey orders me the pizza. Like literally, like if you can avoid the thing that makes you so anxious that you're going to panic, but don't like run away from the situation. Because if you need to face this shit head on and go see a goddamn therapist. I swear to God, it helps. 99% of the time it helps. And if you're the 1%, that's fine too. It's just like not a thing for you, which is 100% valid.
And also, let me just say this one thing. Ask for help.
Yes. Literally,
stop being like...
text your friend.
Like, don't ever feel like I'm alone to face the challenges of my life. Like, you're not.
Seriously.
You're alone facing them if you make yourself alone.
Yeah, no. Literally, if anyone like knows me, whoever's listening, if you know me personally, pick up the phone and fucking text me, because I am gonna be a psych major. So like, just text me, and I swear to God, I'll be able to. I'll try and help you get through it. Henry texted me like 2 days ago, and was like, "Hey, talk to me." And I was like, "Hey, what's up, my dude?" I don't even remember what I said, but it was hilarious, and it made him take his mind off it. I'm so funny. Like, I take your mind off of whatever you're going through. Just saying. Like, we've been laughing through this whole thing, and this is a very serious like topic.
Yeah.
So. Like,
and it's not only just nervous laughter. Like, it's also fun laughter.
Like, I'm having so much fun.
It's good.
Like, I like, we're hilarious. I thought you said gay, and I was like, yes.
I said yay, but also kill
gay,
it.
Yeah.
Slay.
Hella.
Yay, gay, slay.
Hella. Anyways, yeah. I mean, like, just if you have a best friend, like, they're your best friend for a reason. Like, text them. And if you don't, like, if you have a sibling, text
find
them.
somebody to lean on.
Just anybody, man. It could be a fucking creep who is obsessed with you. Just talk to them a little bit. You don't have to be like
my father left. Like,
yeah, you don't have to be like, yeah, I hate
like,
myself and I want to die. But like, hey, you want to talk? And then you can block them because their creep is obsessed with you.
And and here's the thing: even if you don't talk about your issues, just let it talk.
Yeah,
because it distracts your mind.
Yeah, dude.
And it's a good way to do it.
Right, like, get a journal and just write things that you're thinking or write things that you're feeling. And then if they're, you know what my friend does? If she writes anything negative in her journal, she rips out the page and she tears it up and throws it in the recycling, because she doesn't want the negativity filling up everything. You know, like, just like, think of something like that. Like, be creative with your coping mechanisms. I mean, like, I'm kind of boring with mine. I'm like, yeah, breathe, read a book, listen to music, whatever you do. Don't watch a Marvel film, because you'll cry. Sorry, that's just me. Unless it's Thor Ragnarok. Actually, I cried during that one too. Because Mjolnir, I don't even give a shit that Odin died. He was a shit dad. I'm talking about Mjolnir.
Spoilers for Ragnarok. Jeez.
Who here hasn't seen Ragnarok?
I'll fight you. I don't think anyone hasn't seen Ragnarok.
Exactly.
If you haven't, it's on Netflix.
Okay, it's on Netflix.
It's great. It's so good.
Spoil everything. You want to know the ending of
It's
Infinity
the best
War?
Thor movie.
I'm not going to talk about it.
It's the best Thor movie. Just
I don't know. Dark World was pretty fucking good.
Dark World was good, but it wasn't like...
It wasn't Ragnarok.
It wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. You know what? Actually, Loki was hilarious through that whole movie. I watched it last night.
But it's Loki. That's a god of Mitch. We're going to talk about this, like, off the podcast.
Sorry, I love Marvel so much.
We're going to take one more break, and then we're going to talk about another one of Jess's little interests. Give us a second. Roll the music. Today's episode of the podcast is sponsored by Eden Castile Music Studio. Music lessons designed for your voice and your life. Learn what you want, how you want, and when you want. Custom coaching, supportive lessons, and extraordinary performance opportunities are all included in these fabulous, beautiful lessons. Eden Castile Music Studio brings out the star in you. And I can speak to that because I was a student and now I'm amazing. So there's your proof right there. Now, you can find Eden online at edencastile.com. The link will be down in the description. Or if you're too lazy to actually visit the site, you can call 401-932-5589 to get started right away. And now again, for all of you who just completely fell asleep because you're listening to a podcast and probably doing like homework at the same time, that is 401-932-5589 to get started on some premium vocal coaching today. Oh my god, I love our little theme music. I love it so much. Hello everyone, we're back. Welcome back to the podcast. We're still with Jess.
Yes.
Jess, you're in the... Ow, my face. We finally caught the crazy laugh on air.
No! We're keeping
No, mine.
Oh, I thought you were talking about mine. Oh, yeah.
That, like,
the Mickey Mouse.
The Mickey Mouse, yeah. Okay.
Ew, my knee.
We have more shit to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I don't know why I did that.
I previously mentioned that you're a feminist.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that. Yeah, I did.
No, yeah, you did.
I did in the intro. In the intro, that you're a bulbous and fierce feminist.
It's true.
Don't hit my origami crane.
I didn't even see it.
The reason why I wanted to bring you on the show is to talk about feminism.
Only
and,
reason?
Well,
Bitch. I'm kidding.
The final reason why. And you're never being invited back after that.
Of course I am. I'm the best, other than all the other
But the
ones.
reason why I wanted you on the show to talk about this was because you did a little health project when we were exploring gender inequality in health.
Oh, I'm so proud of it still.
So, can you take the viewers through what that project was?
I can.
Now that I'm actually recording in the fucking right place.
Yeah, it took us like a million tries. It's actually the third one. Anyways.
Sorry, Eden. Thanks for the sponsor. I love you.
Okay, so it was called Examining Gender Bias in Modern Feminism because I'm a nerd who insisted on having it be like a fancy like scientific title instead of like a fun title. And I had a partner whose name I'm not.
Yeah, we'll leave out. It's fine.
Because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. What was the project about?
So it was actually it was actually mainly about how
By the way, we did get water.
we did, yeah. No, I have a glass of water right
now.
over there. Every time Henry talks, I just like want to go get it. So he's putting the mug to his face, and I'm a little
Freaking
uncomfortable.
hot in here.
I'm a little uncomfortable.
Okay, fine.
No, I'm kidding. I don't give
go.
a shit.
Just go.
Oh, you got the cough laugh again. So it was the project was mainly about men in like in a modern feminist like viewpoint, and how they're always like stereotyped as like monsters and like another trigger warning, but like rapists and murderers and all the and, like terrible. They're always labeled as misogynists. That's just like purely not true. Because just because you have a dick doesn't mean you hate women.
Doesn't mean you're a dick.
Gotta say, yeah. Just because you have a dick doesn't mean you are a dick.
Like I love women. Like
Yeah.
not in like a creepy way, but like
I feel like that's
I love all
another
people.
quote from something that we watched. It's like I love women in all like senses. All of them. Sorry, I'm like trying to quote something I can't remember. And like
It's my life. You just described my life.
Yeah, it's probably The Office. Let's be real.
Trying to quote something and then just like didn't remember the show.
Forget what show or what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so it's most of it was about how men are actually involved in feminism and are very important in the feminist movement, especially modern feminism today, because there's different kinds of feminism, and there's something called white feminism, which is just inappropriate, and it's basically women only vying for the rights of white women.
So it's like the white supremacy version of feminism?
Kind of. They're not like outwardly racist. They're just willfully ignorant.
Okay.
So it's more like they don't, like, they're not, they, I don't know. They're just, they usually think that men are misogynistic at all. They're the ones who are like, I'm sorry, I'm fucking with your microphone, but it was really bothering me because I need to like move.
We can pause and like I can fix it.
It's fine.
Actually, like while you're talking, I'll fix it.
Yeah. Wait, I got it.
Oh.
I'm a genius.
Yeah, we did it.
So, no, we didn't do shit. I did. Sorry, I'm sorry. I do that all the time. Yeah, so it was how men can be feminists, and honestly, like, there are a shit ton of male feminists. Henry is one, because if he wasn't, I'd kick his ass. I'm just kidding. He is one. He was one before I met him. So
yeah. Because I've always grown up around like strong women, so
his mother is great.
It's kind of transferred over to
strong lady.
Me supporting the. I don't want to spoil too much about like what you're talking about. There's just
the feminist agenda.
Yeah, me supporting the fact that we're not all equal, and that needs to be solved.
You're not supporting the fact that we're not all equal. You're supporting the movement to make us all equal, Henry.
Again, I reiterate, I may say things that are offensive on this podcast that I don't mean.
I knew what you meant, so I just was like, I'll say it for him.
I'm supporting the movement to solve inequality. There we go.
Yes. Another thing that the project was on was the fact that inequality isn't really the problem, but inequity is. Now, the difference between those things is that inequality is people not having the same rights or the same opportunities. I don't know what that was either. And it's like, so equality means like everyone is given, so say one kid is hurt on his finger. The teacher gives him a band-aid on his finger. Another kid's hurt on his knee, but the teacher still gives him a band-aid on his finger because she wants them to be equal so they get the same thing. Even though the kid doesn't need the band-aid on his finger, he needs it on his knee or whatever. Yeah. You know, and so it's kind of like that. And equity is when you give the people what they need to be all at the same level. No one has an advantage or disadvantage. So now the teacher will give the kid with the cut finger a band-aid on his finger, and the kid with the cut knee a band-aid on his knee. They each get what they need, so now they're both have band-aids and they're both ready to go and be a fucking kid again.
And that's what feminism is.
Yeah, pretty much, to like really, really simplify it.
Yeah.
Like way oversimplified.
So literally putting it down to like first grade.
Yeah, like literally I just made it so simple a first grader could understand. Like I literally took that from an example, like a real life example, like I think it was 8-year-olds. A teacher who teaches 8-year-olds did that with her kids to teach them about inequality. So I literally took that example from real life.
Good for her.
I know, right? I like
bravo. Yeah.
Yes. Round of applause for you. So I just need the mic. So it's like that, and it was also like how just because you're a man doesn't mean you can't be a feminist, because there are these things called like Macanists, which are not good people. They are men who it's almost a satirical version of feminism. It's almost poking fun at feminism.
They misinterpret the ideals of feminism for negative.
Yes, they basically think all feminists are lesbians and man haters. That's like their main thing.
No, there's a huge difference between like I want to castrate all men
and I want, and I'm a feminist. And like so that there like there's just so much you could talk about with feminism, and that's pretty much what the thing was about the whole project. And I also did a couple surveys, and most of the answers I got back were actually a little surprising. So a lot of people really thought that men couldn't be feminists, that it was only for women. And
well, yeah, I think that people look at that like prefix feminine.
Yeah, they really, really do
like
believe
feminine.
that it's only for women. And the fact of the matter is that it's called feminism because originally it was for like women's rights, because women were just so
because women were the people that needed the help.
Exactly.
Like it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's
socially,
everyone.
Not like.
No, yeah, no.
Not like
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I got you. We're not damsels in distress.
I'm not being sexist.
We know. We're talking about feminism. If you were being sexist, I'd probably slap you.
I just want to like.
I think
make
we
extra sure. I think that they know, but
I got you. I feel.
Like there's one person out there
Henry's
that's
a
just gonna
feminist,
be like,
and I'm here for it. Okay, all right. Anyways, so basically, like it was one of the first. Now I took AP Euro last year, so this is probably totally wrong, but one of the biggest. I mean, the first feminist movements was in ancient, not really ancient, but historical Europe. There was just a lot. I think it was around. Nope, I'm not going to say period because I totally can't remember. But it began in Europe, and there was this woman, Amelia Pankhurst, and I didn't get to include her in my presentation because she was like I didn't know about her yet. But she was like the leader of this whole like feminist movement. And they were a little extreme. They would like throw bricks and stones through windows and they would riot and whatnot.
Was she like the great grandmother of feminism?
You could say that. There's a lot of like.
I mean, there's probably a lot of strong women that hold feminism up, but is she one of the founding grandmothers?
I would.
Or founding mothers?
It doesn't say a fucking thing. I don't know. I would say so, but it's really a personal opinion because the movement is so fluid and it started different ways, different places, different times. So you can't really say who was like the first or one of the most important because I think all of the great figures were really important. But in my personal opinion, she was, yes, one of the biggest figures. And so what she did was she went to a horse race. Because I can't remember what the fuck that's called. A derby.
There you go.
That. And she was going to put a flyer that, and I don't know what it said, but it was something to do with like give women these rights on the president or the king. The king of. It was either, I think it was England. His horse, the one that he was like betting on, the one that his person was riding. And she was going to do it before the race started, but instead what she did, because she couldn't get in, she went to where the actual race was, ran out onto the track where the race, like the horses were going, killed by a horse, stomped to death, but managed to get the flyer onto the horse, and that was one of the defining moments in, I think it was English feminist movement. And I'm not even fucking joking when I tell you she was stomped to death, like, by a horse.
What was her plan?
Just
like put the flyer on the horse, but like
pretty much. So she was
like, what could have been going through her mind? Like, yeah, I'm gonna run out onto this.
Well, she needed to make a statement because nothing was working for them. Not even like they were becoming a terrorist group. They were, and I hate to say it but they were striking fear into the hearts of all the citizens because they were throwing bricks through windows. They were burning buildings down. They were doing all these extreme things because they weren't getting the attention from the men in charge, and so this final. This act of self-sacrifice for this one movement is just crazy. And that got their attention. They were like, Jesus Christ, these people are crazy. Give them what they want. I'm just kidding. That wasn't what happened. But they finally started to listen to them. And after that, the women got the vote in, I think it was England. My mind is going right to England. So that... Yeah, so that's one of, like, the defining moments. So that is why...
That is crazy.
I know, right? And so like it started over in Europe, and it just kind of, and that was like the end of the movement too. That wasn't even the beginning. I couldn't even tell you what the beginning was. And then like, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I get so lost in that story.
Just really powerful feminists.
Yeah, honestly, like it's just
what they went through to get their message out there. Yeah.
And it's just like, we need to get that message out there. And honestly, like, I think we've done a really good job. Like, women are like, they're not completely equal to men yet. And it does depend on race as well. So like, I think it might be Asian women are still paid the lowest. White women are paid the most. I think if I'm remembering the graph and the stats correctly, don't quote me unless I find the graph.
Yeah.
It goes, so the highest paid in women are white women, black women, Hispanic women, and then Asian women. And then like there's others, but those were like the top 4, I mean. And so and women still make 79 cents to a man's dollar, I think. And I think that's changing because people are really starting to, I cannot believe I have to say this, starting to believe in the pay gap, in the wage gap, and which is such a dumb thing to have to believe in. It's literally a thing. The facts are there. They're doing the same job, the same way, providing the same results, and yet the woman is still making 79 cents to the man's dollar.
Yeah. I mean, like, by all means, if the woman is doing actually less work, then pay them less.
Pay them less.
But if they're doing the exact same job as the man, pay them the same job. I mean, I would say the exact same thing about men. If they're doing less,
if they're doing a shit job, pay them less. If they're doing the same job, pay them the same.
Exactly.
If they're doing a better job, pay them more. It literally, effort is how you get paid.
Yeah. It should not be about gender or sexuality
this is not a fucking communist
or anything.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a communist country. The top does not get to decide how much they make based on how much they like them, okay?
Yeah.
That's not how it works. You get your paycheck, you get what you're promised, and I don't give a fuck who your boss thinks they are. If you are not getting paid what you were promised, there's an issue. And I swear to God, I'm getting heated. If it is racially charged, if it is about gender, sexuality, I don't give a shit what it is, like... talk about it. Post it on fucking Twitter if you have to. Get the message out there that this shit is still happening. Because in the survey that I was talking about before, people didn't think that feminism was needed in America anymore because women were equal to men. No, we're not. We're not. It's just... I'm probably way off topic from the original thing, but like this is what feminism is about, is all the issues that face women today and face LGBT, that face women of color, which you're not supposed to say, I think, because you're not supposed to say women are people of color, because you don't call them, might sound offensive, but I swear to God it's not. Like people used to call them like colored people, but now the appropriate term is people of color, or like they're not white. They're black, they're African American, they're Indian, they're Native American, they're Chinese, they're Japanese, Korean. Like it's all these different things, so they're people of color.
That's like an entirely different argument about like race. Like that's just a social construct that we made up.
Shut the fuck up. That people have different pigment in their skin. And that like literally look at an X-ray. Look, this is my bone, it's your bone. Am I white or you black? I don't fucking know.
If it's a Homo sapien,
it's the same fucking shit.
Just like
let it go.
Have them have like feelings and like
don't
recognize that they have feelings and like they want to help their families out too and they want to fight for what they believe in.
Right? Like just don't be a dick, okay? Just because they have darker pigment than you, like just rule of thumb, don't be an asshole. Chris Evans posted that on his Twitter, so listen to him or I'll come and fight you. Anyways,
we just circled right back to Marvel. Like
I told you, man, every single time. I love it. Anyways,
now
go ahead. Question.
We literally just covered all of these questions.
See, I told you I was gonna rant.
Except for how, in your opinion, can we become better informed about this topic?
Just do do research, man. Like, dig deep, because the first thing that comes up on Google is not 100% of the time gonna be accurate. Google, this is gonna sound like a fucking conspiracy, but it's a fact. Google gets paid by those companies. Like, if you search up a name, the first company that pops up, I guarantee, will be like Facebook. They pay Google to show their stuff first. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. Like,
and it works because people believe that.
Yeah. So, like, if you search up, like, you could search up my name and you'll find old ass pictures of me, and you could be like, she looks like that right now, because you don't know, because that's the first thing that pops up, because, like, Facebook is paying Google for you to see that first, just because they want their brand out there. So do your research. Go to, like, Google Scholar, because they don't get paid by those. Like, those are just schools. Those are papers, or sometimes they're schools. They're organizations, and, like, check your sources. Do, like, .gov, .org, .edu. Those are credible almost 100% of the time. And then check their sources. Like, do research and really get to know the subject you're talking about. And, this is something that I'm so passionate about. I could talk about this for, like, ever.
And then go into arguments.
And then argue. And if you know what? And if you still believe that what you're saying is right, even after researching, then go for it.
Yeah.
Debate. Don't be an asshole like me. I'm such a dick about my arguments. But, like, fight for what you think is right.
An informed argument is better than a blind argument.
Yes. Willful ignorance is awful. Anyone who is like,
oh, and by the way, if you're willfully ignorant, let me just say this one little thing.
Go.
Eventually, you're going to lose the argument. So get
you don't
more
know what the hell you're
informed so
talking
that
about.
you can
make your point.
Make your point.
Yes.
I was going to say point your make.
I know.
Wow.
I know. We're so in sync here. I mean, like.
But yes, we could talk about this forever.
Seriously.
But let's take another break. Let's take one last break.
I need to take a breath. I'm, like, sweating from, like, I'm so heated.
We're going to take a break. We're going to step out into the AC because this place is like a sauna. And then we're going to have a little game.
Nice.
That I've prepared for Jess.
Cool.
But yeah, stick around through the music.
Sorry,
and we'll be back. Okay, so guys, I know what you're thinking. You just heard Jess talk about feminism and, like, the feminist ideals. But you're like, hey, I want more. Well, fear not. If you want to learn more about feminism and the troubles that inequality plays in our modern society, you can go down in the description below and click the link to direct you to empowerwomen.org. You simply go to the site, and right there on the homepage, you choose from a drop-down menu to either engage in conversations or learn or get involved and lots more. And hey, I know what you're thinking, but yes, it is for men too. So go down and click that little link to discover more. Back to the podcast. Okay. We're back.
Okay. I'm ready.
So we're back with the game. We always take a break and we always do a little game.
He won't tell me what the game is.
So basically, we are both amazing fans of The Office.
No, this isn't. You can't do this to me. I'm so bad at this. So I know exactly
what I thought we would do was I have compiled 10 famous quotes from The Office. After I say them, I want you to tell me who said them.
Oh, shit. I'm so bad at this stuff. Unless it's Marvel.
Let's see if you win or lose the game.
What happens? Okay.
Number one, if you lose the game, you never get to come back on the podcast.
Wow, I hate you.
No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. If you lose the game, nothing happens. If you win, nothing happens. You just get bragging rights.
Oh, nice. That's my favorite winning thing.
Okay.
Winning thing.
Number one. Occasionally, I'll hit people with my car, so sue me.
Dwight?
No, Michael. When he hit Meredith with his car.
I was like, I can't remember if it was Dwight or Michael who hit Meredith.
Number two. There's too many people on this earth. We need a new plague.
That was Dwight.
That was Dwight.
Yeah,
that was Dwight.
That was one of my favorite quotes ever.
That's a correct for Jess.
Oh yeah.
Okay, number three. Just pretend like we're talking until the cops leave.
Oh, that's a hard one. Wait, is that Creed?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did they talk about cops? It's always Creed.
That was in the episode where they framed Toby for, like, putting marijuana in his stuff.
Yeah.
So, this one you'll get instantly. Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Michael! That's the one where he's standing on the roof and he's like, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
And Dwight is like, depression isn't real. I don't remember what he said. He goes, Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Isn't depression just a fun way of saying I'm sad or something?
Dwight, you ignorant slut. Anyways,
Ready?
Yes.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Jim! Bears
Yep.
beats Battlestar Galactica.
Okay. You got
Question.
4 out of 10 so far.
What
You're
kind
just
of bear is best?
Yeah, we're gonna
False. Black bear.
Okay, number 6. This is a little bit harder. You're paying way too much for your worms, man. Who's your worm guy?
Okay, I'm narrowing it down.
Okay.
It's either Dwight, Creed.
Okay.
It's literally one of those.
Okay.
It
Dwight or
has to
Creed?
be.
5, 4, 3,
I feel like it's definitely
2,
Creed.
1. Yep.
Yes!
Okay. You've already gotten 5 right. Like you're passing.
Oh, yeah.
You're definitely gonna get this.
This.
Did I stutter? I love that. Okay.
I mean, it could be Michael like making fun of Stanley, but I'm pretty sure it was just Stanley.
I saw Inception, or at least I dreamt I did.
Damn, that one's a hard one.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely a
Yeah.
guy. None of the girls on the show would say that.
Yeah. None of the girls.
Jim?
Michael.
Damn, that was way too witty for like.
He's talking about his summer. He was like, I had a good summer. Saw Inception. At least I dreamt I did. I started to say it like he said it, and I was
Yeah.
just like, don't say it like that.
I know.
I should have a Tweeter account.
Damn.
He doesn't say Twitter. He says Tweeter.
Yeah. Is it Creed? What he's talking about? His blog? No. Wait.
I don't know if I can count that.
No,
'Cause
because
you said, "Is it
I
Creed?"
guessed it, so it's wrong.
Oh, it's wrong. Okay.
Yeah, because I guess I'm not a cheater.
Okay.
I guessed it wrong.
It was Dwight. It was Dwight.
I never would have thought that. I don't remember that.
Well, who's like not good with technology?
Creed.
Well,
Kevin.
who's the main character who's not good with technology?
Yeah.
Number 10. The worst thing about prison was the Dementors.
Michael.
Yeah.
When he's being like the guy
Okay.
from jail, because he's like, oh, this place isn't worse than jail.
7 right.
Oh,
Out
I
of
got to
10.
see.
But you still pass.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
good. You did it.
I win.
You made it through the station. You made it through the episode.
Oh, yeah.
You did it.
I'm a winner.
Yeah, I have one last. Here's the game. You all get to keep the games that I make.
Oh, yay.
So she does win something.
Hey, I am so funny. I don't know why I said that.
Okay.
You spelled Michael wrong.
Yeah, probably did a couple times.
He spelled it Micheal.
When did I spell it like that?
Right there.
Yeah,
It's Mich.
that was at 1 o'clock in the morning. Give me a break.
Mood.
I have one last question for you.
What?
Other than like final farewells and everything, did you have fun on the show?
No, I hated it. I wasn't laughing at all. I wasn't talking about things that actually mattered. But of course, I had fun on the show, you moron. Fucking nerd. Sorry, I'm not nice to my friends.
God,
I'm sorry.
just get out. Just get out.
Okay.
No,
All right, yeah, this was great.
Well, and now you can use that little mic in front of you to tell the people anything that you want as a final farewell.
Like what?
Like anything, like what you're up to, final thoughts on anything that we talked about, anything that you didn't get to discuss or I didn't ask. Go ahead.
I just want to tell everyone, I am fantastic, and that feminism is for everybody, and you don't have to be a girl, you don't have to be a guy, you don't have to be anything other than a person who cares about other people and their rights. 'Cause like you can have I'm not gonna say that. I'm sure you knew what I was gonna say. You literally like, I don't give a shit what your gender is, what your sexuality is, what your romantic orientation is, what your race is, if you're like in a wheelchair, if you are like disabled, if you are mentally ill, if I don't care. If you have the ability to like care for someone and actually like want them to succeed in life, then you can be a feminist. It's not like there are no like rules to feminism other than don't be an asshole, and just kind of like everyone deserves to have rights. Now, I'm not a communist. Not everyone deserves the same thing, but they deserve to be on the same level, the same playing field. No one gets an advantage or disadvantage just because of money. They don't need the same thing. I'm not going to give you all the equal share of bread and whatever. If you have 4 people in your family, you're going to get 4 slices of bread or whatever. If you have 1, you're not going to get 4. If you have 6, you're not going to get 4. This isn't a fucking communist country. I'm sorry. I'm so anti-communist. It's not even funny. But that's what feminism is. Is like everyone, you get what you need. That's it. That's pretty much it. So
yeah, take you back to the that previous analogy where you were like,
that
you know,
fucking
if the teacher goes up to a kid who has a hurt finger, gives him a Band-Aid, then goes up to a kid who has a hurt knee,
gives him a
Band-Aid on his finger.
Yeah, it's not going to help at all.
Sense.
Yeah, no, it's not going to help at all. It's just going to be like, what? So, you know, that's pretty much it. That's like the whole lesson that I try and teach people in my entire life is just make sure that everyone gets the same chance as you do. And if that means stooping down and pushing them up so that you guys can be at the same playing field, then fucking do it. Okay? Do it.
Do it.
Do it. It's important to know that. So I just feel like that's like the most important part of this whole thing is that like you gotta just bring other people up. Don't rip them down. Make sure they get the same opportunities rather than the same thing. Because we're not fucking communists here. This is America. This is America. I hate that song. Sorry. Anyways.
And you also talked about depression, anxiety. Do you have any last words to say about that?
Just take a deep breath. Take everything one step at a time. You can't control anything. You can't control everything. The only thing you can control is your reaction to the situation. And even that in minor parts. You can't control the fact that you're panicking, but you can control how you react to the panic. So like anytime you're panicking, just take a deep breath. If you can, get some water. Just breathe. Like look up coping mechanisms to help you. There's 100 million apps out there that help you. Like
a personal favorite of mine is Smiling Mind.
I think I've tried.
It's
good.
If
it worked for me, but
yeah, I thought that worked.
And yeah,
well for me.
and on that, like find what works for you. You know, like,
and don't get discouraged if the first thing that you try doesn't work for you.
If the 4, I don't know if you guys know the 4-7-8 breathing trick. When you inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Beats, seconds, it doesn't matter. Whatever you need. I usually do seconds. If that doesn't work for you, you can do different numbers. Do 5, 5, 10. It doesn't matter. Like, if you can find a breathing technique that helps you, I think breathing is one of the most important things to control because it calms your mind and your body at the same time. But just like, you know, calm yourself down. I know it's way easier said than done, but just, you know, breathe.
Literally take a breather.
Take a breather. You walk away from the situation if you can, but don't run. Walk. You know, like don't escape. Just take a second. Calm down. Get ready. And fucking go. The same thing as if you're performing. You take a deep breath, you walk on the stage, and you own it. Then afterwards, you can be like, that was fucking terrifying. But you did it. Alright, you fucking did it.
And now, just like the last topic that we covered, being part of the LGBTQ community.
That would be the first thing I do.
Or, well, the last of what we're talking about.
I'm just busting your balls.
I told you were all of us feminist.
Listen, this is all me, you guys.
But
Jess Unchained.
Do you have any last words to talk about that?
Again, with the take it one step at a time, you don't need to figure yourself out right now. You can be 6. You can be 16. You can be 66 when you figure out who you are, or you could never figure it out at all. Either way, be you. And whoever that is, even if you don't know, just go with what's natural.
The only person that's waiting for you to get there is you.
Yeah, honestly. Nobody else.
Be patient with yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody else can control who you really are unless you let them. The only person you can control is yourself. My sensei used to say, you cannot control someone's actions. You can only control your reactions. It's a common phrase. I'm sure that's just he ingrained
Just
it
used
in
to
my
say
head.
it, yeah.
And so, but he's right. You can't control how other people are going to react to who you are as a person, or who you love, or what you identify as, gender, sexually, or romantically. But what they think doesn't matter. And I know that's also easier said than like thought. You can't just all of a sudden up and change what you think. It takes a while. You can't just be like, yeah, I don't care what people think after years of caring. It takes a while. And you just do little by little, wear sweatpants to school one day. No one's gonna really notice because it doesn't matter. that kind of stuff. And then one day, all of a sudden, you'll realize and be like, wait, I've been doing this the whole time. Because it doesn't matter what other people think as long as I am me all the time. That's how I am. If you know me personally, I'll walk into school wearing my combat boots, my leather jacket, my ripped jeans, and a black t-shirt. And I'm not doing that to try and make anybody think that I'm edgy or a rebel. That's just what I like to wear. I think it's awesome. I think I look badass. And that's what I want to look like. I want to look like I could kill a person just by looking at him. People are intimidated to come up and talk to me, and that's what I want, because I don't want you talking to me unless I talk to you first. I'm just kidding. Talk to me if you need to talk to me. But also,
if you have a serious problem, talk to Jess.
If you're really struggling with something, I'm always open as a someone who wants to go into...
A sympathetic struggler.
Yes, that's not what I was going to say, but that's exactly what I wanted to say. As someone who is a sympathetic struggler and someone who is going to go into psychology, come talk to me if you really need to. Find my Snapchat is on my Instagram. Find it. Just text me, whatever. If you really need help, come talk to me and I got you. But just talk to someone. Take it one step at a time. Be you and talk to someone. And dress the way you want, by the way, when we're on the topic. If you say you're a dude...
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
That's I'm a very, people think I'm very intimidating. I get why. Because it's the way I dress and the way I talk and the way I present myself. In my house, I straight up wear a sports bra and pajamas. And I'm hi, that's me in my home. But everywhere else, I'm don't fucking talk to me. I swear to God, I'll stab you. But that's me. I'm a million different people at once. But I'm me. So just, be you. Probably didn't make sense to anyone but me. But,
But it's okay. It's a good way to wrap up the episode.
Also, just be you.
I do want to say congratulations. We are the longest episode.
Yeah, I was going for it. I was looking at it, and I was I'm just going to keep fucking talking.
I was watching the deadline for the last episode, and I just saw it. I saw it pass, and I saw it go, and now we're 140 beats over that.
Nice. I was I'm going to go until that thing.
We're actually we're 200 beats over it.
Hell yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, I was going for it. I was I'm looking at it right now.
So Jess, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah.
And thank you all for listening.
Drink
if you
water.
enjoyed it, you can like it. You can subscribe down below. You can click all the links down in the description to take you to various sites.
Henry's going to link to my Instagram because I said that here, so now he has to.
I don't have to. You don't want me to.
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
Why would I say it?
I don't.
So I said it, so now he has
Jess's
to.
Instagram will be also in the description below.
Yeah, so come talk to me, my man.
Last little words of wisdom. Drink lots of water.
Drink water.
And I will see you all next Monday.
Bye-bye. Drink water.
Bye.